Austrian citizenship is based primarily on the principle of jus sanguinis. In other words, one usually acquires Austrian citizenship if the parent is Austrian, irrespective of place of birth. Birth in Austria. Birth in Austria does not in itself confer Austrian citizenship. However, it may lead to a reduction in the residence requirement for naturalization as an Austrian citizen. Foundlings under the age of 6 months are legally presumed to have Austrian citizenship. Descent from an Austrian parent. A child born to 2 Austrian parents is an Austrian citizen, regardless of the parent's marital status. If the parents are married at the time of birth, Austrian citizenship of either the mother or the father is sufficient, so long as the child was born after the 1st of September 1983. For children born prior to that date, the father must have been an Austrian citizen. Children born to an Austrian mother married to a non-Austrian father do not qualify. If the parents are not married, a mother automatically passes on Austrian citizenship. The father passes on citizenship if he acknowledges paternity or a court decision within 8 weeks of the birth. Should the parents marry at some time after the birth, citizenship is automatically granted to the child retroactively. If the child is over 14 at the time, however, the child's consent is needed. Naturalization as an Austrian citizen. It is possible to apply for Austrian citizenship by naturalization after 10 years of continuous residence in Austria. Additional requirements include knowledge of the German language, having due regard to the alien's personal circumstances, renunciation of foreign citizenship unless this is impractical. This requirement can be waived in exceptional cases. Naturalization as an Austrian citizen based on 10 years of continuous residence is discretionary. Exemptions to the residence requirement. The residence requirement may be reduced or waived in the following cases: recognized refugees, citizens of other European Economic Area nations, persons born in Austria, former citizens of Austria, persons with the knowledge of the German language on level B2 or with proof of substantial personal integration. Entitlement to grant of Austrian citizenship. Some persons are entitled to Austrian citizenship by a simpler process than naturalization. Minor children of a person granted Austrian citizenship are most often granted Austrian citizenship as well. Spouses of Austrian citizens. The marriage must have lasted for a minimum of 5 years. The spouse applicant must also have lived in Austria with a settlement permit for a minimum of 6 years. This is so far the most restrictive law among all the European Union member countries about the foreign spouses obtaining the member states' citizenship. Long residence in Austria. A person who has lived in Austria for 30 years, or 15 years in cases of sustained personal and occupational integration, is entitled to grant of Austrian citizenship. Former Austrian citizens. Former citizens of Austria who lost citizenship other than by renunciation or deprivation may be granted Austrian citizenship after 1 year's residence in Austria. Austrian citizenship must have been possessed for 10 years before it was lost. A person who lost Austrian nationality as a child may reacquire it by declaration within 2 years of turning 18. Stateless persons born in Austria. A stateless person born in Austria may be granted Austrian citizenship within 2 years of age 18 if he has lived in Austria for a total of 10 years, including 5 years continuously before application. Appointment to a professorship at an Austrian university. As a result of the fact that appointment to a professorship at an Austrian university or other institute of higher learning entailed being named a state official before the year 2001-3, Foreign citizens formally received Austrian citizenship immediately when they took office, without additionally applying for citizenship, or being compelled to do so. Austria's entry into the European Union meant that citizens of other member countries now enjoyed the same rights to access to employment as Austrians. This meant that the automatic conferment of citizenship on professors was valid only for citizens of non-EU states. 5. However, since September 1, 2001, postings for university professorships are to be advertised exclusively as private sector employment. 6. Therefore, the requirement of automatic conferment of citizenship on foreign nationals named to professorships was rendered obsolete. Furthermore, spouses and minor unmarried children of those professors who were still named state officials previously also received Austrian citizenship by declaring, within 1 year of the spouse's parents' acceptance as a citizen, a desire to be a loyal citizen of the Republic. In this special case of naturalization, dual citizenship was permitted. A parliamentary survey 9 on the number of people naturalized in this fashion showed that there had been no statistics collected on this point. Loss of Austrian citizenship. An Austrian citizen who acquires another citizenship by voluntary action automatically loses Austrian citizenship. The exception is in cases where permission to retain Austrian citizenship has been obtained in advance. This may be difficult to obtain, as the aim of the lawgiver is to reduce the number of dual citizenships granted. Exceptions are made for situations where it is in the interest of the Republic of Austria to grant this dual citizenship, or in situations where the citizen would suffer hardship due to not having the second citizenship. If, for example, an Austrian citizen wants to obtain U.S. citizenship because he/she lives in the U.S. and, without a U.S. citizenship, would lose the green card due to being made to travel more than 180 days per year by their employer, then if they apply for permission to retain Austrian citizenship, that request is usually granted and has become almost a formality. The important part is that the application to retain Austrian citizenship is made before acquiring another citizenship. Otherwise, the Austrian citizenship is automatically lost the moment a person obtains a foreign citizenship. The law can change at any time, however, especially should the power in the Austrian parliament shift dramatically after an election and a party opposed to the current law regains absolute majority. Austrian citizenship is also automatically lost by serving in a foreign army. Visa-free travel. Visa requirements for Austrian citizens are administrative entry restrictions by the authorities of other states placed on citizens of Austria. In 2014, Austrian citizens had visa-free visa on arrival access to 171 countries and territories, ranking the Austrian passport 4th in the world. Dual citizenship. Austrian law substantially restricts dual citizenship. In general, only the following categories of Austrian citizens may possess a foreign nationality: those acquiring another nationality at birth, such as children born to Austrian parents in another country, thus automatically gaining citizenship of the country, or those born with an Austrian and a foreign parent. Naturalized Austrian citizens who are unable to renounce their existing nationality. Those who acquire Austrian citizenship on the basis of being appointed a professor at an Austrian university. Austrian citizens who naturalize in another country with permission obtained to retain Austrian citizenship. Austrian citizenship and Germany. Between the 13th of March 1938 and the 27th of April 1945, German nationality law extended to Austria. Those acquiring Austrian citizenship upon the re-establishment of Austria generally lost German citizenship on that date. Citizenship of the European Union. Austrian citizens are also citizens of the European Union and thus enjoy enjoy rights of free movement and have the right to vote in elections for the European Parliament.